Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I bet you didn't know just how fierce the battle for the skies has become. For decades, Boeing and Airbus have ruled the skies, their duopoly, unchallenged. But now China's Comac C919 has entered the arena, a sleek modern jet aiming to disrupt the status quo. The C919 isn't just an airplane, it's a symbol of China's ambition to become an aviation superpower. With its first commercial flights underway, the world is watching. Can the C919 truly compete? The challenge is immense. Building a plane is just the beginning. In this video, we'll break down the top 5 reasons why, despite its impressive debut, the C919 struggles to rival Boeing and Airbus. Let's dive in. The C919's biggest obstacle? International certification. Right now it's only approved by China's aviation authority, the CAAC. To fly in Europe or the US, it needs the green light from EASA and the FAA, the gold standards in aviation safety. These certifications require years of rigorous testing and total transparency. Comac applied for EASA approval in 2017, but progress has been slow, with no clear timeline for success. Without these approvals, the C919 is locked out of the world's most lucrative markets. Airlines can't risk buying a jet they might not be able to fly internationally. Smaller aviation authorities often follow EASA and FAA's lead, so their approval is crucial for global sales. The lack of certification also hurts the C919's resale value. Airlines want planes they can sell or lease worldwide. For now, the C919 is flying in China, but its global ambitions are grounded until it clears this regulatory wall. Breaking through will require time, money, and political will. Until then, the C919 remains a domestic contender in a global game. The established giants have spent decades shaping these regulatory frameworks, and for Comac, the road ahead is long and uncertain. Certification isn't just paperwork, it's the ticket to the world stage. Without it, the C919's reach is severely limited. The challenge is as much about trust and transparency as it is about engineering. For now, the C919's wings are clipped. The world is waiting to see if it can soar beyond China's borders. The C919 is branded as China's homegrown jet, but its core is international. Its engines, made by CFM International, a US-French partnership, avionics, Collins Aerospace, an American company, landing gear, German engineering, flight controls, Honeywell, another US giant. The C919 is assembled in China, but its most critical systems come from the West. This global supply chain brings proven technology, but also vulnerability. If the US or EU restricts exports, C919 production could halt overnight. China is racing to develop domestic alternatives like the CJ1000A engine, but matching Western performance and reliability is a massive challenge. Swapping in new, unproven Chinese components would reset the certification process, adding years and cost. Comac is stuck, rely on Western parts and risk supply chain shocks, or go domestic and risk falling behind technologically. Boeing and Airbus also use global suppliers, but their core technology is rooted at home and spread across allied nations, making them less vulnerable. For now, the C919's fate is tied to international politics and supply chains it can't fully control. Independence will take decades of investment and innovation. Airlines want reliability and certainty, something the C919 can't guarantee while it depends on foreign tech. The C919's foreign heart is both its strength and its Achilles heel, until China masters every link in the chain. The C919's future remains uncertain. The world's top jets are more than the sum of their parts. They're the product of decades of trust and integration. For Comac, true independence is still a distant goal. The C919's journey is just beginning. In aviation, trust is everything. Boeing and Airbus have earned it over decades, millions of flights, billions of passengers, and a legacy of safety. Airlines know their planes inside and out, performance, maintenance, quirks, and resale value. Pilots and mechanics are trained on them. Financiers trust their value, and passengers board without a second thought. The C919, by contrast, is an unknown. It lacks a track record, no long-term data, no global operational history. Real-world reliability's proven over millions of flight hours, not just in test labs. Boeing's 737 MAX crisis showed even giants can stumble, but their legacy helped them recover. A newcomer like Comac wouldn't survive such a blow. For now, the C919 flies mainly with Chinese state-owned airlines, a captive market. To win abroad, it must convince independent airlines it's as safe and reliable as the established jets. That's a huge leap of faith for any airline CEO. If anything goes wrong, the risk to reputation and finances is enormous. The saying, "Nobody ever got fired for buying Boeing or Airbus," still holds true. The Made in China label doesn't yet inspire the same confidence in high-tech, safety-critical industries. Years of flawless operation are needed to build a global reputation. Leasing companies, who finance half of all aircraft, are wary of unproven assets. The C919 must prove itself, flight after flight, year after year. Trust is built slowly but lost in an instant. Boeing and Airbus have a century-long head start. For Comac, earning trust is the hardest climb of all. Buying a jet isn't just about the plane, it's about the promise of support for decades. Boeing and Airbus have built vast global networks, spare parts, engineers, and 24/7 service hubs on every continent. If a plane is grounded anywhere in the world, help is just hours away. This keeps airlines flying, and profits flowing. Comac's support network, it's almost entirely within China. Building a global web of warehouses, trained staff, and logistics will take billions and decades. Airlines need instant access to parts and expertise, not long waits for shipments from Shanghai. Routine maintenance, pilot and mechanic training, and software updates are all streamlined for Boeing and Airbus. For the C919, airlines would need to invest heavily in new training and rely on Comac for every unique part. No global parts market means higher costs and more risk. For international airlines, this is a deal breaker. They can't risk operations on a jet without a rock-solid global support promise. The operational risks and costs would quickly outweigh any savings on the purchase price. Before Comac can sell the C919 abroad, it must build this invisible infrastructure. Airlines won't buy without it. But Comac can't justify the investment without orders, a classic catch-22. Boeing and Airbus aren't just selling planes, they're selling a complete ecosystem. Until Comac can match that, the C919 will remain grounded outside China. Support is the backbone of aviation success. Without it, even the best jet can't compete. The C919's global ambitions depend on building this web. The final barrier? Scale. Boeing and Airbus produce over 1,000 single-aisle jets each year, with decades of manufacturing experience. Comac's C919 output is in the single digits. Ambitious plans aside, it's years away from mass production. This scale gives the giants huge advantages: lower costs, faster deliveries, and massive bargaining power with suppliers. Airlines face long waits for A320s and 737s, but that's a sign of demand and trust. Even if an airline wanted a fleet of C919s, Comac can't deliver quickly. Scale also means experience. Boeing and Airbus have refined their processes over generations. Their jets are consistent, reliable, and supported by a global ecosystem of pilots, mechanics, and parts. The C919, with only a handful in service, is an island in a vast ocean. Early production models often have more glitches, something airlines can't afford. The giants' massive fleets create a self-reinforcing advantage. More pilots, more parts, more trust. Comac is just starting this journey. Competing on price is tough when you buy parts in small quantities. The giants can offer aggressive deals thanks to their scale. For Comac, catching up will take years of flawless execution and massive investment. The learning curve is steep, and the stakes are high. Scale isn't just about numbers, it's about experience, efficiency, and trust. The C919 is running a marathon against sprinters who've been at it for decades. Overcoming this gap is the ultimate challenge. So, where does the C919 stand? It faces 5 towering barriers: certification, foreign dependence, trust, global support, and scale. Each is a monumental challenge. Together, they form a near-impenetrable wall. Still, the C919 is a technological milestone for China, a leap forward at home. But on the world stage, building the plane was the easy part. Earning trust Building support and scaling up will take a generation. The Dragon has taken flight, but its climb has only just begun.